as to a parent and says, look, you know, I think your child is a, don't be so aggressive to the teacher.
Right, because you
sit down and listen.
Yes.
Because the teacher's with your child more than you are.
And
honestly.
Not my baby.
Exactly. And
I know Tasha, yeah, Tasha didn't do that.
Exactly.
And Lanika didn't do that. No, yeah, Lanika and Tasha both did that.
Listen.
Yes.
I mean, listen. Actually sit down, listen to what the teacher's saying.
I agree with you 100%.
And have a talk with your child. And maybe your child just wants you to have a talk. Because there's a lot of parents who don't, they let the TV talk to the child. Or the video games talk to the child.
It's a problem.
It's a problem.
You hit the nail right on the head when you said a lot of the children that are bullying, they're bullying out of their circumstance. Because that was exactly the case with the person that bullied me. Of course, I didn't find out later, and there was a revelation that came to me from God that explained to me and broke it down to me. This is why that happened to you, and it was you opposed to other people, you know. And when I look back on it, and I think about people that I was friends with in school, I don't think that they would have been able to walk out on the other side. Because I did have a friend when we were in junior high that committed suicide because he got bullied and committed suicide, and it's just like,
and there's a lot of that. I mean,
but now it's like you know, you turn on the
internet now, they're bullying on the internet,
and that's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up. Serious talk. Pause for the cause. Your kids are on these Facebook pages and all these social websites. You should be monitoring them. They're telling people that they're older than what they are. They're putting on their status that they're married and all these other things that are untrue. We need to step in and tune in to our children. We are not tuning in. Stop letting your kids run you. Be the parent. Be the parent. And if I see something, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're on Facebook doing something that you're not supposed to be doing and you are under 18, I'm going to tell.
Exactly.
I don't care about you getting mad and you can delete me as your little friend. It don't matter. I'm going to tell.
And I want you to tell.
Exactly.
Please come knock on my door, ring the bell, stop me on the...
It was an incident with a family member, our cousin April. And the little girl was bullying my cousin's daughter on Facebook. But I saw it. I'm all the way down here in Florida, and I stepped up to some bullying that was going all the way back in Indiana. Not only did I tell my cousin, I researched the little girl's account and got her parents' information because they put everything on Facebook. And that's another thing. Tell your kids to stop putting all your personal information out there. But I was able to send an email to the parent. And the parent was receptive. I was thinking, oh my God, they're going to be in the night. They're going to be like, who are you? You all the way in Florida. How do you know what's going on? But I just told her blatantly, your daughter is cyberbullying. And I don't know if you know, but that is a crime. And you need to speak to your daughter before something comes out of it. And they were able to talk to the daughter and get it resolved.
And what you did, you react where a lot of people don't react. They look at it like, oh, whatever. You know, walking down the street, you know, I can't stand seeing like a whole group of kids. Like you see a group of kids fighting and stuff. Stop just sitting there looking at it or finding out. Speak up. Speak up and somebody. Some people are so afraid now. You know how I remember my pastor, she gave a sermon like when they was little, you know how the parents, the whole neighborhood, you gonna get a whooping all the way.
That's right, because that's how it was when we grew up. But now you need to bring that. I mean, you don't have to whip somebody's kid, but go to that kid's house.
But now parents nowadays, you know, parents nowadays is so young and naive again. You know, can't be told anything. Exactly. Look, everybody already know. You see my child doing something, you put him in place, bring him to me, let me know, and I'm going to react to that. And then I'm going to sit there and listen to you. My child is going to be quiet, be respectful, and listen to what you have to say. I'm not going to dismiss what you have to say.
I agree. 100%.
You know, so open communication, and the thing behind bullying, parents need to be able, like everybody keeps saying, talk to your child. Parents should talk to their children anyway, because if your child the one is being the bully, talk to them, find out what's going on. They may be angry about something. It may be, in my case, I had both parents on drugs. I had no supervision. We was able to do whatever we wanted to do, so I took that to heart. So you know, if it was someone there maybe that can talk to me like, this is not right, you shouldn't be doing that, maybe I would have took heed of that. And it's the same thing as other kids that's bullying. It's something that they're lacking. It's something that's going on. They need some attention, whether they behind their schoolwork. If it's something, parents, you need to sit down, have a talk. I mean, you need to be there when, I know single parents and things like that, but it needs to be sometimes set each and every day where you're talking with your children. It's daily. parents are so busy now. Like I said, single mommies, people not really taking. I say, no matter how much. Let me take it back. I'm all over the place.
That's okay.
But from when I was a working mom, working 2 jobs, really trying to take care of the kids by myself and stuff, I didn't really take the time to sit and really talk to the kids, even though I knew I could maneuver things around to talk to my kids. Versus now, I make it a priority to when they come in, sit them down and calm them down and let's talk about your day, what's going on, ask questions. I think that's so important. Because if parents start doing it, the kids start feeling like they love, they start feeling like someone's listening.
Amen. Amen.
And it makes you feel a sense of responsibility that you owe your children.
Yeah, it does. And then it helps the relationship with you and your kids.
They're not afraid to come to you.
And they can talk to you.
Exactly. Because with my older son, I feel like the communication has gotten better over the last couple of years, where before, I really was just busy. I got this to do. I got this to do. I'll talk to you later, whatever. And later never came. So my thing, from my experience, I just tell every parent, just make sure that you just take the time. And like I said, I repeat it every single day to talk to your kid about something. Laugh with them, joke with them, because it actually makes the relationship with your child that much better.
I agree.
And you know what I've also learned? What I tell my son, because his dad works and sometimes he's sleeping when he gets. I said, write him a note. Sometimes writing helps children to say things that they just.
I can attest to that.
That they honestly, and he said to me the other day, he's like, I haven't seen my dad, and I said, write him a note. Because sometimes when we as parents go to work and we get those notes, it's like such a refreshing feeling, and you feel you're at work and you get emotional and you're like, oh man. And when I used to send Kamari to school with lunch, I used to put little notes in there, and he would come and say, I got your note. And it just makes them, and it was just some type of communication, because we're all so busy, but you have to have some type of idea. And, it's our child, and we made them. We need to, keep up with them
and play your role.
I agree. I agree with both topics of conversation that we just had. You have to chime in and speak to your children, and it should be on a daily basis. You're with your kids every day. You don't let the schoolhouse raise your children. Don't let the TV raise your children. Don't let the public raise your children. They're your children. Raise your children.
Exactly.
And if you can't, then you shouldn't be having actions in your life where you're making children. And that's just me keeping it real.
Or be honest enough to say that I can't
do it alone. And that's
get your
thing.
Parents or involve someone else.
We said last week, it takes a village. I'm a firm believer in that. You can't do it all by yourself. She was working. She's working 2 jobs. She was being a parent as far as taking care of her children and the responsibility of that. But then there were actions that she wasn't following through on. Then we have Trish. You're there with your son because you have the freedom to be able to work at home, but your husband's out of the home, so your child is missing that. And kids communicate with us when we don't even pay attention to. They're telling us things and we're not listening to them. Listen to your children. They're talking to you. They're giving you signs of what is going on. So you do have to take the time out to listen to them. Now I want to talk about bullying as an adult. It's a topic about bullying, but bullying from an adult's perspective. Have you dealt with any adult bullies? What was the situation?
For me, I wouldn't categorize it as bullying. As an adult, some people they're adult, they feel like they're grown, they can do whatever they want, they can say whatever they want, and a lot of jealousy. People have, and they just do actions against you. I didn't have that. Oh my God, definitely, and it for me it was some of my actions also, but I just didn't have people just don't like me just because they don't like me. You know how people for no reason at all and just start saying things. As an adult. I really didn't get, I got into physical fights as growing up, and that just from one reason led to another reason. But as far as actually having someone pick on me, I I didn't have that. But I did have, you know, where people just start things and say things behind your back that, I mean, just was like, just because they didn't like your character, they're just acting out. Verbal abuse. Yeah. I think that was more so that.
Oh, I'm sorry. What about,
you know what?
Any adult?
You know what? Not really adult, but what I would like to address is sibling bullying. I did have some siblings. I have 2 older brothers. One is 10 years older than me, which he wasn't really the bullier, but I have another one that's 4 years older than me, and maybe he was just trying to be protective, but I took it more as bullying because any step I made, it was like, don't do that. It was like, I'm your dad, don't do that. And I feel like now that, you know, we just talked when you said adult bullying, I'm like, you know what? Sibling bullying is very much
another.
Yes, that's. I mean, it's probably off the topic of
adult
bullying.
It is
very much there. You know what I mean? I mean, and kids leave home just because they don't want to be around their siblings. Exactly, and actually, that was one piece of bullying that I did encounter was with my older brother, who just was so I think he was more overprotecting, but it led into fighting, like fist fighting, and
he was controlling.
Very controlling.
A bully is a person that manipulates. They want to control. They want to be in control of the situation with the focus on them.
Yep.
So although you're the target,
right?
You know, you may be the person they're getting at. The focus was on them because everybody's looking at what the bully is doing to everybody else.
Right.
And they're the center of attention, and for whatever reason, they thrive on that. And it's sad.
I mean, and he may have thought he was helping me and loving me because, but I guess they don't realize that, you know, that's not what you're doing.
But bullying is bullying. You can't sugarcoat it. It is what it is.
Yes.
Definitely. I've seen it happen to a lot more people than I've had it happen to me. But I've had those situations. Someone just not liking you. And I am a people person. I've always, that's my weakness, is people. Right. You want to be liked and you want people to want to be around you. Right. That's me. I'm not speaking for everybody. That's just my own perspective on things. And you know, you go into a new job and you are a new person. You want to be liked. You're not coming in giving a reason for someone not to like you. And they just don't like you. And what I had to realize was you can't control that. You can be as sweet as pie, and someone doesn't like you, they don't like you.
Knock you down.
But I learned that
they take advantage of you just because you're a sweet person.
Right.
People. I mean, that's what bullies for the most part. Bullies get in where they can fit in, and they see like that. And now that you mention it, I do see a lot of that. Like you see a person that's really sweet, real nice, soft-spoken and stuff, and some people take advantage of that.
They do. I had a situation last year, right before I was blessed to be able to start working from home for the company that I work at, where I had 2 co-workers go at it. Like, and in my opinion, it was a bully situation. It was one person that was really aggressive and manipulated a lot of people around them and kind of took advantage of the situation and thought that person was weak and that person snapped. And you're thinking, we are grown, we are at work. I mean, really?
Where's the maturity level?
When does it stop? And I mean, not just at this particular job, but at other jobs I've seen it where people bully. The new person comes into the office and you just, something about her, I just don't like her. You don't know her. What do you mean you don't like her? Exactly, grow up. But whenever I hear people do things like that, I'm like, I bet you, I guarantee that they was a bully when they were a kid. Probably. And you're not happy in your life. And just like a child being a bully, something's not going on. So they're looking for that attention and that focus. The same thing comes true with grown-ups. So if you're that person in the office going around terrorizing people, always starting stuff, I'm sorry that you have bad things going on in your life, but it does not give you the right to torment people, okay? And if you're a bully, then your children are learning from you. Exactly. So your children are off at school 100%. Bullying her kids or bullying her kids. That's so heaven forbid something were to happen. Everyone needs to stop and slow down and focus. And if you are an adult bully, you need to seek help. Get some counseling. Don't be afraid. It's okay. And take your children with you.
Yeah. Exactly.
And take your children with you.
Because they're only learning what they see.
Your children are a product of the environment that they live in. So if they're seeing abuse, they're going to channel abuse, or they're going to be receptive to abuse. Yes. They're either going to dish it out or they're going to take it in. Same thing goes with bully. They're either going to take on being a bully or they're going to be a bully. So it's up to you, parents, mothers, fathers, to step up to the plate and do your part.
Be that change agent.
Exactly.
All right, so we're gonna close it on out on our topic of bullying. I hope that what we said was beneficial, excuse me. And I hope that when we're sharing these events, these are events that are happening in our lives, so we're taking out our time to give you a personal insight of what's going on in our lives, but we're not doing it for notoriety or anything like that. That's what I Am My Sister's Keeper is about, is to let everyone know we're all human. We all go through stuff. Stuff happens, some good, some bad. We celebrate the good, but we want to shed light on the bad. If something bad is going on, we want to bring that to the forefront. We may not be able to say thousands, but we can say one person from themselves by listening to us and seeing us and saying, hey, these are some real sisters having real talk, keeping it real 100% of the time. Hey, I can listen to them and I can learn something from them. So we hope with each episode you're walking away with something. We try to put a lesson in everything. We laugh and we joke, but on the real, bullying is a serious topic. It's become an epidemic in the United States of America, and it's sad. It's very sad. So please take the time, sit down, talk to your family and friends, start a dialogue, do it over lunch, do it over dinner, whatever. Take 10, 15, 20 minutes to sit down and talk to your kids and find out what's going on with their in their lives. With that, I'm going to let the panel close out. Any statements that we want to make about bullying? Anything we want to share with our audience?
Just one step at a time. Open communication. Start that. Start with dinner. Just small things, and then you'll see that your kids start opening up, talking with you, and you start feeling that passion in your heart to do better. And so, just one day at a time, and start getting better.
I love it.
Definitely. And I agree with Ladisha. Dinner. Have dinner at table. Like a family. And you'll be amazed
at what you find out.
How much you can learn.
Oh, I'm gonna give you guys this bit. I got this. My goddaughters initiated this. We all saw it in a movie, but they really took it to heart. It's called Highs and Lows. So do this with your kid. When you're sitting down and you're having a meal, take the time to have that meal together. And when you're doing it, start the dialogue with this. Tell me your highs and lows of today.
Correct.
They get to tell you 2 things good that happened. They can tell you 2 things bad that happened. If they had something that was great, you applaud and you encourage. If they had something bad that happened, we talk. We start that dialogue. If they made it through the day and they didn't have any lows, we clap it up.
Yeah.
So use that as a tool. Maybe that'll get you, starting on the path to communicating with your children. But with that being said, we want to say thank you for tuning in to Girls Night In. We love you and we appreciate your support, and we hope you come back and see us again. And with that, blessings and smooches.
Real talk.
Real sisters.
100% real all the time.
Good night.
Night.